Hello and welcome to yet another Outside Inside Star Citizen. This time we're gonna use a clip from my stream, or the whole show is basically gonna be from my yesterday stream. It's gonna be yesterday for you, it's still today for me, it doesn't matter. But this time we're gonna talk about something that is really close to my heart, and that is sound engineering, sound design. And since I'm a music producer, a sound designer that worked on a bunch of TV shows and some movies and all of that, I can tell you that, yeah, this strikes close to home, and I so wanted to love all of this, but it's just like, it's still CAG, whatever they do, it's still CAG. So let me roll the intro and let's watch the Inside Star Citizen together.
Hello, my name is Grumpy.
We're all here for this. So let's watch Reverberations and Applications. Journey to 4.0. Okay. So, if you 10 minutes. If you know me, you know why I'm fucking pissed off already, because of Journey to 4.0. And if they're gonna talk to the sound engineer guys like I think they are, like Reverberations, what else can it be? But yeah, fuck it, let's watch it and we'll see what this shit is.
At CitizenCon 2952, we introduced a new initiative called Journey to 4.0, showcasing stories about development specific.
Do you know on how many roads to Pyro we've been in the past 4 years? And journeys to 4.0 and shit like that.
For 4.x branch of release, from new mission types like investigations to flight experience changes such as the master modes, from life in the verse-altering resource management system.
Listen, if Golgot 100 is here, please just do a video on like the roads to shit, roads to Pyro, roads to 4.0, roads to 3.0, and all the roads that we've been on and how long they have been delayed. But yeah, let's continue.
To anything and everything Pyro related, the Journey to 4.0 is our chance to step outside the traditional weekly update cadence and look farther ahead than usual. And
318 already got delayed 6 months.
Knowing Star Citizen, this journey will probably be one filled with plenty of twists and turns along the way. And the initiative itself will extend beyond this year's CitizenCon to become a semi-regular series of stories and showcases as you're about to see today. Now, most folks are familiar with the process of concept art, that act of creating expression to discover that which you want to add to your project, as well as determining that which you most definitely do not. It's perhaps the most exploratory and experimental part of any development process, and it extends beyond just the visual. Now, today's Journey to 4.0 presentation is from senior sound designer Matt Gabney, a discussion of the process of creating audio concepts for environmental reverb on the distant alien worlds of Pyro.
Environmental reverb. Okay, as a sound designer, I can tell you that this whole thing is probably going to be bullshit, because they're probably going to go into the engine. No, not? Okay. But fuck me. Okay, let's continue. Journey to 4.0. Sure.
Hello everyone, my name is Matt Gabney. I'm a senior
Honestly, I hope I'm fucking wrong. Honestly, I hope we're gonna see 4.0 mid next year. Honestly, but Jesus fucking Christ. I just can't fucking trust them anymore. Also, what are these? Are these the Behringers? What is this?
audio designer at Cloud Imperium Games, and today I'm here to talk about reverberation, ambient sound design, and a few concepts we're experimenting with for Pyro planets. Without extensive soundproofing, most spaces will produce many closely spaced reflections, which reach the listener shortly after the initial dry sound. We hear this series of reflections as a single continuous sound, which we call reverb. Reverb is created when a sound occurs in space with pressurized atmosphere, sending sound waves out in all directions. These waves reflect our surfaces in space, decaying in amplitude until reflections eventually die off. It's my own hypothesis that the experience of sound is about 30% of the human experience and possibly up to 50% of the game experience. Different reverberations give us a rough idea of the space we have around us.
So this is reverb. And this is not really that hard to do. You have, like in the applications, you have reverb. Like in the engine itself, you can integrate reverb, and you can even integrate some tools like plugins that are gonna have reverb. So it's not that hard to do, honestly. Sound design around it, it is like that is hard to do. It is really hard to do. I mean, it's Foley artistry, right? So you need to have a Foley art. This is just fucking okay. So you need to have a Foley artist to like do the background noises and all that shit. But this is not really that hard to do.
During a phone call, for example, where we can't see the other person we're talking to, it's still easy to get a rough idea of the physical space they're in. The reverberation does that. Oh, hi, Mom. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. We're filming. I'm gonna call you back. Thanks. So that's where I put it. Hey, Mom. No, I'm sorry. We're still filming. I can't talk right now. I'll call you back. Okay? Thank you. Bye. Checkmate.
This is hard for me to watch because I mean, this is my life. Okay, they're using the PMCs. Okay, from that angle, they look like Behringer throats, honestly, and they were just like, why would they use this? PMCs are good monitors. I never liked them for tracking or mixing, and yeah, we're going down like into the rabbit hole of sound design and engineering and music and all of that. I never liked them because they're not really that truthful. But it's probably because of the ports that they have, and they just give some like wolf tones that I don't like. But, and you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, fuck it. Let's go down deep into the fucking rabbit hole. But Unreal Engine, Crytek Engine or CryEngine, and all of those engines, especially Unreal, I know this because I have worked on something on Unreal, it doesn't matter, but you have like a reverb plugin there, but you can also use other plugins for that reverb. Also, there is a way to use the convolution reverbs, which basically you give it. For convolution reverbs, you record a reverb by, let's say, placing microphones in my room, whatever, or in a hall, and then you fire a gunshot, and then you take out the gunshot from that, and the convolution reverb will read how the reverberation of the room reacted to that gunshot. And you just use that and get into the plugin inside the engine, and it's done. It's done. And then you just like click on where you want to use that reverb, basically.
One reverb for it, for example, and here's how the other would sound. In video game development or in audio production in general, getting the right feel for space is absolutely crucial for the immersion of the audience. As audio designers, our task is often to recreate an effect that closely matches the visuals. In reality, often the best sound design work is what doesn't get in the way of interpreting the scenario. So our work is unnoticed.
We have Hybrid V Audio that did a really good design work, sound design work with like the turrets and all that shit. And yeah, you should probably consult him, or like I'm not gonna assert myself, but like because CAG doesn't like me, love me, and like me at all. But yeah, just talk to Hybrid V Audio, and he's gonna tell you how to do the sound design.
noticed until there's an
especially in space where you shouldn't hear anything.
issue with what you're hearing.
So this is how you record reverberation of the whole room, and then you use that in the convolution reverb, and it's going to read out the reverb of the room, not the sound itself. They're like, people use a gunshot for that. They had like a starter gun or whatever, and then they use noise, like white noise, pink noise, and all of that, and in sequences, so they can record a better sounding convolution reverb than this. I guess this is just like them showing us how it's done for people that like don't know how to do it. But honestly, as I said, this is an easy thing to do. You don't even need to record actual sounds. You have a ton of convolution reverbs already that you can just use in the app itself, like in the plugin inside the engine. So yeah.
Basically, there's two schools of thought in layman's terms: analog and digital.
Oh my God, no, please do not talk about analog versus digital. Please.
Either there's a software generating reverb on a signal based on a complex algorithm, or you capture an area that you like the natural reverberation of and use the created impulse response, or IR for short, to generate reverb
for the convolution reverbs. Yeah, impulse responses
through it, which is what we did at the basement of CIG.
Show me a sandwich again over this. Look, like, you can say whatever you want to. This is a really creative job. That's why I love my job, even though it's not my job anymore. I'm mostly a YouTuber now. But because in Serbia, you just can't fucking earn money doing music and doing sound effects and stuff like that. You can, but it doesn't matter. But this is really interesting for us, but not for the player. That's why I never made, like, a bunch of people ask me, since you're a music music producer, why don't you review the music in Star Citizen? Because, like, I'm gonna have 3 views, because nobody is gonna watch that, because, like, why would you want to have, like, Morphologist did a really good thing with his architect reviews, because everybody wants to see the ships, right? But nobody wants to hear the sounds. Nobody wants to, like, I used to make my own music for my own channel. And then I realized that, like, for every, like, for some videos, I need to use like 6 songs, because I have like 6 segments. Nobody listens to them. So what I did, I paid Motion Array on a monthly basis, so I can, like, get their royalty-free music and use it there, because there's no fucking point. So yeah.
One big advantage we had with the CIG parking lot is the huge surface area on both levels, with a lot of parallel flat surfaces that can create delays, all kinds of distortions.
There's more than 3 songs.
It's pretty much one driving element that I wanted to use for Pyro. How cool is that the new building we just moved into could be used this way for the new solar system?
And I can do, like, this in section videos of the songs and how they're played, and on, like, what software or hardware they're played, but nobody's gonna watch that, honestly.
Of course, the IR we capture is also digital, which allows us to use them in-game. So, where would it make sense to use IR in-game? My current task as one of the new senior sound designers in the team is to get some concepts together for the new Pyro solar system we showed some videos of during the latest CitizenCon.
You think you paid for the parking lot? No, you paid for the whole building, Atlas.
Style environment. Any life developing on those planets is based on very different rules than what we have on Earth, and in Stanton as a consequence. And the basic idea is to make the planet sound otherworldly, unusual, a bit different, but still create something that pleases the ears of the players. It's a fairly contradictory pitch, so if you're me, after receiving such a task, you go home and cry under the shower for a bit. What I came up with is a list of complex systems that will allow us to generate several layers of reverberation that often doesn't exist.
Because, for example, in music, because that's the most that I did, but I also did some TV and some movies and shit, you have a bunch of things that you need to do. And you need to, let's say you're doing a song, and the guy that pays you is the singer, right? and he wants his fucking vocals to be over the top and much louder than everything else. But that's not how you mix a song, right? And then you have a drummer. If it's a full band, then you're gonna have a drummer that wants his drums to sound like his John Bonham, but he doesn't fucking play it like that. And then you have a guitarist that wants his fucking guitar to sound like, I don't know, Steve Vai, but he's playing a fucking AC/DC riff or whatever. And then you need to try to manage all of that and make them all happy, but also make yourself happy because you're making a song or you're mixing a song and making a song for other people, and those people are gonna read you like your name in the credits, right? And maybe those people are gonna come to you. So that's always a bad thing. And I know for like gaming, one of the reasons, what I assume, one of the reasons why you can hear the repeaters out in space when you're when another guy is firing like 200 meters away from you, like there's vacuum, you should not be able to hear them. But I guess one of the reasons is because of the players, because players want to hear that, and it doesn't make sense. But also, there are some things that you can do to compensate, like to not compensate. What was the word I'm looking for? To find the middle line, right? So you can meet in the middle by filtering or lowering the high frequencies the further the ship is away. So maybe you could hear just boom if he's like a kilometer away. But if he's closer, you can hear the full thing. But yeah.
Exactly belong to the physical space you're in and has a certain musical tone, plus some other granulated effects to give you sounds that could not possibly come from our solar system.
Also, most of the ships have the
sound
same
unfamiliar
sounds.
in subtle ways.
The Cutter, hands down, has the best sound in the game. And it's the fucking starter ship. It's the smallest piece of shit ship. Yeah, because Star Wars sounds like that. Yeah. I love that the rocks are fucking 10 meters away from the ground here. They're just levitating here, and they're using this as promo shots. I love this. Honestly, this is fucking Star Citizen in a nutshell. And yes, somebody's going to here, also in here. And I know that somebody's going to tell me, well, it's procedurally generated. But yes, but is it good though? Because you can make it procedurally generated and make it good at the same time, right? You don't need a fucking artist to go over every piece of terrain to fix this. No. But see, like, boom, hybrid V audio, it sounded awesome. Yeah, I just talked about that. But if it was like that, what if there was an enemy behind you, started shooting you, and you wouldn't hear them, and you could just hear the shots landing, and he would be always behind you, and you would not know where he is. With this, they make the players, even though I don't like it, and I'm pretty sure that this guy doesn't like it, they make it so you can know where the shots are coming from, right? Yeah, 4.0 is almost ready. Yeah, we just saw
experimentation. So anything I can show you now is purely so we could have a clearer conversation about concepts.
This is not reverberation. This is Foley artistry and using a synth in the background. Maybe not even a synth, maybe just like white noise with filtering and all of that. It's not. Where's the reverb? Also, the clouds are looking amazing. A bunch of people said that the 318 clouds look like DCS clouds and that they're much better. The fuck is this shit? I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but what the fuck is this shit? Honestly. They're worse than they are on Crusader. This is not reverb. This is Foley. This is pre-recorded. wouldn't the repeaters vibrate from their connection to the hull, since there's atmosphere inside the ship? Yes, but you will hear your own weapons, but you would not hear the other guy's weapons, right? From like 200 meters away, because of you would hear when a repeater or whatever hits the hull, but you will not hear your own the other guy's weapons. If you ever played DCS, that's like like a really good sim, and you can hear the sounds there. They're like not really that accurate, but they're done really good. And like the A10, you know how the A10 sounds like the main cannon, the 30 mic what's it called? Gatling gun. It doesn't matter, but it sounds like that from afar, and it sounds like that when you're outside. But inside, you're just gonna hear the vibrations, and you're gonna hear your engine and all of the systems of the A10 more than you're gonna hear the gun. I mean, you're gonna feel the fucking gun, but it's not the same because you're in a closed cockpit. Now imagine being in like up in space. Do I watch hockey? No, I don't watch any sports, honestly. The only sports I watched was basketball back in the day and NFL. I never watched soccer, and I did when I was a kid, but that's it. Yeah, 30 mic, Canon. Yeah, the lower frequencies will get through.
It's not confirmed.
This sounds nice. Because there's also not just reverb, there's delay, so your gunshots are hitting the, let's say, the ground here and delaying and coming back to you so you can hear them again. That's called delay, or some people will call it echo, but the proper term is delay.
It's not confirmed, validated, or even discussed at this stage. I'm just coming up with ideas on my own to have a content and...
So what this guy said right now is, I'm getting paid... I'm getting paid to sit there, and I have too much fucking time on my own to do nothing. So I did this, and I don't know if this is going to be a thing, but yeah.
Dated or even discussed at this stage. I'm just coming up with ideas on my own to have a content and possible...
He's coming up with ideas on his own to have content because he's bored.
Systems to talk about later when Pyro audio goes into production.
When Pyro audio goes in production. So, like, wait. Journey to fucking 4.0 and road to Pyro, and Pyro is not, like, Pyro audio is not in production yet.
To talk about later when Pyro audio goes into production. And so why do we use IR instead of algorithmic reverb? The reason is simple.
Because it's better.
We're generating content on a planetary scale. The basic idea is to come up with a typology of sound parameters that would...
So first off, algorithmic reverb would take up more resources from your PC because it's going to use more processing power in a different way. Unless you skew them and you have filtering and you have like the decay time and all of that time, like different for every... Like if you are modifying the reverb, the algorithm itself. But... yeah, or the IR.
The reason
itself.
is simple. We're generating content on a planetary scale. The basic idea is to come up with a typology of sound parameters.
And IR reverbs are going to sound better because they are recording from like real live reverbs.
That would essentially allow us to procedurally generate audio. But with what we are designing for a system this size, your absolute first priority is optimization, while being able to control and test for all the parameters. So the design has to be clever,
Concepts.
and the resources are controlled.
By the way, bear in mind, it says concepts here. So even the...
So the design
I think these were heralds that just passed. Even the ship sounds are concepts. Maybe they're not heralds, but maybe they're like a POA. I'm a sound nerd. I mean, I am. That's my job.
The resources are controlled. IR takes substantially less processing power than algorithmic reverb. What I often did for the concepts of Pyro is to layer several different sized IRs on top of each other. This gives you an odd feeling about the space around you, and allows me to treat the layers differently.
He's using Slate Digital? Really? For what? Distressor and fucking 76s and what? I know that the chat has no idea what I'm talking about right now. But for what? Wait, what? This has nothing to do with what he's talking about.
And allows me to treat the layers differently with a few parameters and a few knobs.
Shouldn't sound like this, honestly. This sounds like you're in a fucking cave. This does not compute.
So that is a quick look into one aspect of sound design for Star Citizen. I hope you enjoyed.
I respect him, but also the ending sound should not sound like this. What the fuck? Where's Jared? Where's Jared? Okay. I'm gonna give you Jared.
So with that, what did we learn this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So with that, what did we learn this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? What? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So with that, what did we learn this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? What? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week?
So thank you, Jared, for asking. We have learned that you're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing inside your apps, inside your engine, using plugins that everybody else is doing. But also, the guy that is working on this has too much free time, and the sound production of Pyro has not even started yet. So, yeah, that's the road to Pyro and the journey to 4.0. So that's what we learned. People said enough. It's too long. It's made for you to suffer. That's why. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna continue the stream, but I guess I'm gonna use this whole thing as a video. So let me just thank my patrons for supporting my channel. And if you want to support the channel, there's gonna be a link down in the description of the video. And thank you for supporting me. The best way is to support me on Patreon or Super Chat on YouTube. Or you can, if you want to get something in return for supporting me, you can get my merch, and it's going to be down in the description of the video or the stream right now. I know that, yeah, Stream Elements just posted the link. You can check out my merch store. All the designs are done by me, by my own hands and my pencil on the iPad. And yeah, there is like more designs than this, but I just didn't update this video. So yeah, send cash, Atlas. yes. If you want to support me, yeah. I mean, I just told you that I have monthly expenses that I need to pay, as I've said, on a monthly basis. Just run the channel. So if you want to support me, those are the best ways. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and mwah.